We are in a new section with AutoCAD 2017 and we're gonna go and look at dimensioning. Previously we did some videos related to texts and everything, but this time it's gonna be with dimensioning, which is the other part of annotating my drawing with text. You can see our drawing is more cleaned up and there are some clear spaces, and from previous videos we learned and we got familiar with these red lines, which are the dimensions of this building or this drawing, and it shows that we already have a text style that been applied to this drawing, including the dimensioning, of course, because text and dimensioning is related to each other. So let's go ahead and pick a side to work on. Let's go ahead and pick this left corner. I guess this part right here is good. As you can see, when I hover over, when I press escape, I lose my pan tool. You can see this is the dimension and it shows that it's a rotated dimension. In AutoCAD, we use the text style to actually insert our dimensions, so they are related to each other, as I mentioned. So let's go ahead and look at the dimension style that this drawing has. On the ribbon, you go to Annotate, you press on it, and on the second icon it shows dimension style. You just press on it and you get this window. These are the available dimension styles for this drawing, but it cannot show me which type of dimension style been used to this drawing. We will check that. We have to know what type been used for this drawing, so first close it and you have to go to Annotate, and in here in the dimension panel it tells you what type of dimension style you are using. But how real is this? Like, I need to know more details about it. You select your dimension, or it doesn't have to be this dimension, but any dimension, no, not any dimensions in particular. Right click and you get this menu, choose the properties panel, you will get this window. As you can see, this menu shows or tells us a lot of information about this rotated dimension. What layer is it and what color it is, and the most important one that we're looking at is the dimension style. It's diagonal 2.5 millimeter Arial. Okay, so now we have an idea what dimension style it's using. We have to close it, we don't need that anymore. Okay, now we can go back to our dimension style. On the Annotate, on this panel, dimensions panel, you click this little arrow right here. It gives us the same window that we got previously. So this one is the one that is showing on the drawing. As you can see from the picture, it's showing it in a really weird way, but that's okay. We will modify it later or do some changes. You see on this right side on this window, you can make a new dimension style. You can modify the one that you are selecting. Let's try to make a new one. So press on new. You get the copy of the same type, the one that you were standing on, or you were selecting. I'll have to delete this part. I will add something like copy to its name, and you can activate this or not. We will discuss it in future videos. And you have to make sure it's used for all types of dimensions, not just one. So make sure you have that selected. Now you can click on continue. You see this window will show. And for this type of dimension style that we modified or added, doesn't matter, we have several types available. We have the line, we can change so many things with it, the symbols and the arrows, the text, fit, primary units, and the alternate units. Sometimes you want to show metric or imperial units, for example, of course. And tolerance, this is related to any mechanical production, some plus or minus for each dimension due to cutting the edges or whatever. We're not gonna do this any further, we just have to cancel that for now. It takes us back to Dimension Style Manager. Let's go ahead and modify the one that already exists. Let's not create a new one. If you could remember, it was diagonal 2.5 Arial. We will modify it. You can do so many changes, but for me, this one is the most important one in my opinion. You can change the arrowheads, the first and second. As you can see, it's oblique, so there is no showing thing on it. You can maybe closed filled. You see it's all changed the same for the first and second, because that's how it should go. I mean, for any dimension, both ends should be similar, but the leader, maybe choose this one just for an example. You can choose OK and then OK. You see all my dimensions changed into arrowheads filled.